104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens in the studio. It is Thursday time for Dark Side of the Stream, episode
Number?
138.
Okay, I just want to make sure we weren't getting to 200 yet.
Not yet. We still got a ways to go. Probably not this year, but next year we'll hit 200. Today on the show, we're discussing Jay's pick, which was the documentary series on Netflix called Chimp Empire, narrated by a guy I can't pronounce his name, but he's an actor, and he's been in a ton of really good stuff.
Solid dude.
But yeah, really cool voice. That was awesome to hear him narrate this. But it deals with a community of chimpanzees in Uganda, and it is the largest group of chimpanzees ever known. So what, may I ask, got you to watch this documentary to begin with?
It popped up in Netflix feed,
and you were like, "Oh yeah, I'll learn about some
yeah,
chimpanzees."
It was like, okay, I'll click it, and then I was like, kind of sucked me in. I was like, it was a little slow.
The beginning is, yeah,
but
to set it up.
But man, I was like, this is a trip, dude. These are like people, basically.
Well, they are.
You know?
They're us. I mean, in a sense, whether
98% the same DNA or something.
Yeah, whether or not you want to believe in evolution, they are us. But yeah,
especially the one with the light eyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And some are smarter than others. You see these videos of chimpanzees. Like there was one that came to mind when I was watching this of a guy who kind of raised one in captivity, and then eventually they released him into the forest, and the guy really wanted to see how he was doing. And so they set out to try and locate him because they had said that he had become kind of aggressive, some of the people that had interactions with him. So they were kind of scared that maybe being out in the wild kind of got him back to be a little bit more aggressive. So this guy like goes and finds him, calls out to him, and he comes out of the wood and introduces him to his family, his, I guess, wife and his children. And he's just, because he knows him immediately as soon as he hears his voice. And then he stays with him and follows him and to make sure that he's okay. The chimpanzee does, and then stays on the, like, because they don't go in there. I mean, the guy kind of has an interaction with them, and then it's time to go. He gets in the boat and leaves, but that chimpanzee stays there to make sure he gets to the other side to his camp safely and stays there. It gives me goosebumps just to think about that, because we don't really know what these things are thinking. We can kind of guess, we can kind of see based on the actions that they take and what they do in their life. But this documentary was really deep into that and how their society works as a whole.
Right.
Because that's what it is.
And how they communicate. They're definitely communicating.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And so it really shows you that, even though we claim we're the top of the food chain and we might be the only ones that are the smartest ones, that doesn't necessarily ring true, because all these animals and stuff, especially like chimpanzees and dolphins and whales and stuff and sharks, they've been around for a long time. And brother, I'll tell you right now, they're communicating to each other. We will get deep into Chimp Empire next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 138 this week, discussing Chimp Empire is Jay's pick. And again, it follows a huge group of chimpanzees, one of the largest group ever known in Uganda, in this rainforest, which I didn't really know they had rainforests in Africa.
Yeah,
I'll be the first to admit. I knew that they had I thought they called it like the Congo, or maybe that's its own thing. But yeah, when you think of Africa, you really just think of deserts mainly.
The footage was amazing.
Oh my God, that right there, that I'm glad you brought that up, because that right there is the biggest selling point of this documentary, in my opinion.
Beautiful.
If you just kind of like the outdoor stuff, the nature stuff, the like the Blue World documentary, stuff like that, watch this one, because the cinematography on this documentary is absolutely breathtaking. It kind of reminded me of the one that we did with the octopus and that guy. Is just like, I mean, the story itself was awesome, but like just the cinematography part of it was unbelievable what they were able to pull off. But yeah, I thought that was gorgeous. Did it make you want to go visit Africa one day?
No. I'm cool on that.
You don't want to go?
I'm cool.
Why not?
I have my own
Not enough bars for
I
Jay?
have my own Chimp Empire here.
He's afraid he's going to get burned at the stake if he goes. They're gonna think you're a witch doctor or something.
I'm not really
You're
the
just
guy
Satan or
that's big on traveling to weird places.
No, Africa would be tough. I had a buddy that went over there for a summer. Actually, two friends that went over there for summer and had the time of their life. But it was like one of those like student exchange program things. But you basically go over there and you live with the tribe. You live in their huts or whatever. You do what they do every day. I personally like that. When I go on vacations, I like to go there and just kind of try to be there, like be part of it, like walk the streets, eat at their places, do their thing, just because I think that's awesome. When you go on the all-inclusives and the cruise and stuff, it's not really,
it's more spoon-fed stuff.
Yeah. But going to another country and try to live like they live for, even if it's just 4 or 5 days, I think is a huge eye-opening experience for anyone, whether it's in Africa, Europe, Japan, whatever. You should definitely give it a shot. But yeah, Jay's kind of right. At the same time, you might want to check and see how the politics are happening before you book your ticket.
Speaking of politics, one thing I thought was crazy in this is that the alpha males, they hold that position of power for like 6 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Which is basically what our presidents do.
Yeah.
They get reelected, which is trippy too.
Man. I think that really comes down to just, it hits them in the point where they're like the most biggest and they can deal with it, because that's really what it comes down to. Because at any point another chimpanzee can come up
gunning for you
and can make a play at that position, and so after 6 or 8 years,
a little bit.
You might be losing a little speed in your step.
Next little youngster comes up,
you got another guy claiming to take the throne. We'll get back, Dark Side of the Stream, discussing Chimp Empire next on 104.7 The Cave. Mike, the intern, Jay Stevens, back in the studio. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 138, discussing Chimp Empire today. Interestingly enough, and I didn't know this was going to happen, but Jay picked this documentary right before I went to my mom's house in Kansas. She lives close by to Manhattan, Kansas. University of Kansas State is in that location as well. But they also have a zoo, which is about the same size as the Dickerson Park Zoo here in Springfield, but different animals and stuff. And they do have a group of rescue chimpanzees there.
Wow.
So it was kind of interesting. I was watching this, and then I got to go see some in real life.
You told them, I'm down with your culture.
I tried so hard. There was one female who was definitely older. And she was, you could tell she was in heat, but I tried so hard. I put my hand, because she was kind of hanging in the shade by the glass. I tried so hard to put my hand on that glass. Dude. I was like, come on, Missy, come on, sweet sister. Come on. You're so beautiful. Put your hand right there. And she was kind of looking at me, and then
Krista, watch out. Krista, watch out.
I just, I don't know what it is about the feeling that, I don't know if it's just like a thing about human nature, or just me personally that just wants to create connections, whether it's another human being or an animal. I was trying so hard to do that. But that's what I think this documentary was really all about, is us trying to communicate or understand better what the world of the chimpanzees live in, what they do, and all that stuff. And this was eye-opening.
Their boundaries and their little patrols.
Oh, dude, it's so crazy.
It's amazing, man.
And it's you can't not think that they understand so much, because like you said, like things so simple as like a patrol, right?
Yeah.
You can't, I mean, how do you think a chimpanzee explains to another chimpanzee how, okay, look, Jay,
what we're gonna do.
Here's the deal. Between the hours of noon and 8,
that tree right there.
yeah. How do they understand that?
But they're doing it.
But they do it, and they do it consistently.
Yes.
It's not like
some fluke.
Yeah, it's not like they just wake up and they just start walking in circles about where they think they're going to be.
They know who's got to be where, and
they know whose job is what.
And bro, How about when they jack the little monkeys?
Well, but but it's part of like the sink or swim thing, you know. It's
Ooh.
survival of the fittest. If you can't survive that, how in the hell are
Yo.
you going to survive a situation where you're out on your own in the wild and something comes up on you, and that's part of it?
They chase them. They hunt those little guys, dude.
And it's crazy because it works the same way as
Creepy,
we do it.
dude. Creepy.
It is creepy, but it's also incredibly eye-opening. And again,
Very well shot.
Yeah, very, like I said, we're not trying to sell you on some documentary
It's
where
slow,
it's like,
but it's very well shot.
it's not like some crazy cliffhanger or some weird thing.
No
it's
weird
just
conspiracy theory here.
A beautifully
this is
told story. Yeah, it's nature. It's a nature doc, and Jay picked it. So if
and
he picks it,
ancestors,
and if it kept his attention long enough,
right,
it'll keep yours. And we'll give it a review next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio one more time. It is Dark Side of the Stream. We discussed Chimp Empire this week. I would give it a solid 4, just based on the cinematography alone.
Yeah, I'll go 3.5. Main thing that, it was really beautiful. And it was interesting, you know?
It was very interesting. And again,
who knew?
I kind of did. But again, I love these documentaries just based on the fact that the cinematography was so absolutely gorgeous. You get to see Uganda and all it has to offer. And Africa is such a big place. It's its own little world, and there's so much there. I personally would like to go there, maybe not in the current political climate, but maybe one day if things kind of calm down, I'd love to go. Not to hunt, just to experience it, just to see it for myself, because it just sounds like an incredible place. One day I think I'll get to do it, but not anytime soon.
Nice.
Next week, Dark Side of the Stream is my pick. I'm going to pick a new documentary on the newly revamped Max. It's called Max
I haven't
now.
Been there yet. I haven't been there yet.
Don't search HBO Max anymore because it ain't there.
Is my same app going to work?
No, you have to get a new one.
Are you serious?
Yep, Max. Your same login works. I already gone through this. It's called How to Create a Sex Scandal, and it deals with a bunch of swingers in Texas.
Here we go.
I'm the one that's bringing the fuel to the fire this time. As always, you can watch us live, Facebook at 9 a.m. every Thursday. Listen to during my show at 9 a.m. or Jay's show at 6 p.m. Download it as a podcast on our 104.7 The Cave app. I'm Mike the Intern. This is Jay Stevens reminding you, we watch movies so you don't have to. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.